0.94. So they're giving you the value of D. Okay. The mass of a rectangular sheet of copper is 10 centimeters wide, 45 centimeters long, and 0.2 centimeters thick. So that's the volume. They're giving you the volume by calculation. 10 times 45 times 0.2. So what I'd like you to do is calculate the volume.
Okay.
And then we'll use that number in the other equation there.
Okay, that's 90.
Okay, so 90, and then we could add units, centimeters cubed. So the volume is 90. Let's solve for mass. Mass is going to be 8.94 times 90.
That's going to be 804.6.
Units of mass in this case are grams, right? So again, density is mass divided by volume. It says a sample of aluminum metal has a mass of 8.4 grams. The volume is 3.1 centimeters cubed. Calculate the density. You're just going to divide there for those.
All right. 8.4 divided by 3. That's going to be, that's a big number. Hold on. 2.709.
Okay, so we'll just go 2 decimal places, and it's grams per centimeter cubed, like that. So again, you're going to be given 2 of the 3 quantities. So we'll take a look at the next one here. Density is mass divided by volume. And what are they giving you? What are they giving you in number 3? Which of the 3 variables are they giving you?
They're giving us an 8.4. Wait, do you mean variables? They're giving us, wait,
Which of the 3 letters are they giving you? Are they giving you density, mass, or volume?
they're giving us density.
Okay, so what is the density in this problem?
8.47
Okay, but what are the units next to 84.7?
grams.
Okay, is that the units of density?
Yes. No.
Okay,
Wait.
units of density are grams per centimeter cubed.
Okay, then I was right in that scenario.
So grams refers to which letter? It's not density.
Grams refers to volume.
Okay.
Am I
We
getting
we
somewhere?
no, I mean, 2 is number 3 is just like number 2,
Okay.
meaning that number 2, they give you the mass and they give you the volume. You can use the units to determine the mass and the volume, meaning like you just look for the same units.
Okay. Okay, but like, wait, never mind. Okay, 8.4.7 is gonna be mass,
Okay.
and 49.6 is volume.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So there is the calculation. Can you give me the result of dividing that? Let's round it to 2 decimal places, please.
All right. That is 1.707.
Okay. Rounded to 2 decimal places. What does that become?
170.7.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not the correct answer. So you've got to either tell me correctly or just say the digits or put it in the chat. Because here's what you said. You said 1.707. And then I
Right.
asked you to round to 2
Oh,
decimal places,
okay.
which means The answer of two to the right of the decimal.
Yeah,
So do you know how to do that, or is that just totally you're not sure?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So you look at the third decimal place. What's the third decimal place?
So the decimal in total is 1.707. If we round two times, it's going to be 170.7.
Here's what you just said.
Yes.
That's not the number doesn't change. You can't move the decimal. We're just I'm asking you which is the third decimal place in this number.
The zero.
Zero
Wait.
is the second decimal place.
Oh, sorry, the 7.
Okay, so when you want to round to two decimal places, you look at the third. Does the seven cause the zero to round up or stay the same?
You have to round up.
Okay, so what does the zero become?
Oh, it becomes a 1.
Yes.
So in total, it would be 171, not 170.
You keep saying like this. The decimal is it stays there 1.71 or one. You can't call it 171 because that changes the meaning of the number
Gotcha.
when you say it. Now, if you're writing it correctly, that's another thing altogether. But take a look there. All right, number 4. If a liquid has a density of 1.67 grams per centimeter cubed, what is the volume of 45 grams of the liquid? Which two of the three letters are they giving you in this problem?
Okay, now this one is 1.67 divided by, wait, no, hold on. Wait, they changed it around, so it would, no, wait. Same
So
thing,
what I
isn't
was asking you to do is just tell me which two of the three letters they're giving you. Are they giving you the density, the mass, or the volume? They're going to give you two of the three.
it? They're giving us the density
Okay, and what else?
and the volume.
Okay, so what is the volume?
The volume is 45 grams.
Is grams the measure of volume, units of volume?
Yes.
Okay, well, why didn't we use that in the previous problem then for volume?
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me reread this again just to make sure that
Like I'm looking for just minimal participation. I don't feel like I'm getting
yeah,
that at all. I mean,
hold on.
the units of mass are in grams. The units of volume are in centimeters cubed. Okay.
Yeah, I
Uh,
see my mistake. Can we go back to 3 and real quick?
units of density are in gram, but we can do that absolutely. All of this is from the lesson. Like if you're not even scanning the lesson, that's not there needs to be a minimal effort, and I don't feel like it's being achieved. So let's go
Yeah.
back to 3. Yes, it says density, but it's asking what is the density, not giving you the density. And that's
Okay,
why I said
so
you want to look at the units.
yeah. Okay, so we know that that okay. So we know that 84.7 grams is the mass
Yes,
and the 49.6 is the the volume.
volume. Good. So in number 4, what is 1.67? What is 45? And the units tell you what they are. The words could be deceptive.
1.67, wait, sorry, 1.67 is the volume, and
Okay.
the volume is not the volume, sorry, the mass is 45 grams
Okay. So let's go back again. Look at this. What are the units of volume?
in centimeters
Okay. And what are the units of density?
meters cubed being divided.
Grams per centimeters cubed.
Yes.
Okay, so look at what is given. What are what units? What are these units?
Grams and centimeters. That's the
So is this volume or is this something
no.
else?
This is
What is it?
something that's the density.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. We have the uh
1.67 equal 45 divided by V. This is the
yeah,
most difficult one to solve for. V is equal to mass divided by density. Could you calculate that for us, please?
yeah. 45 divided by 1.67. Sorry,
Okay,
1.67. That's gonna be 26.95 because I had to
okay,
round up because it was a 9.46. Yeah.
okay. So the volume, what are the units of volume?
The units of volume are centimeters cubed.
Good. Okay, very good. All right, answer each part of this question completely. So what they're really trying to say is like full sentences. Cite any outside sources of information that use cartilage and tendons, and this is inside the body. I don't know much about them, are just a few structures in the body made of connective tissue. One of the requirements of this biological molecule is that it provides rigidity and structure. Which of the above biological molecules has properties that would be a good choice for this function, and what are those properties? So I guess they're asking they're sort of asking like why does cartilage and tendons need rigidity and structure? So what you might want to do here is go look up what cartilage and tendons in the body are used for and why the connective tissue is so important. Again, these are just basic searches. We're not asking for anything complicated, but you want to look at like what those do in the body. And so your sentence might start out with cartilage and tendons are used for blank in the body. And then you can talk about the connective tissue has rigidity and structure and why that is important. What are
Hmm.
so the cartilage and tendons have function. What are those functions? Why is the rigidity and structure of the connective tissue important for that?
Got it. I did not expect to be answering biology questions right now. Mm. Okay, so the cartilage provides cushioning inside the joints. As
Okay.
for tendons, they basically are made of strong fibers that are connective and they connect the tissues and to the muscles and then the muscles to the bones.
Okay. So the you might provide a function. What are the functions of those? You gave more of a definition. A function is like what it's used
Mhm.
for. Like ice skates are made of probably on the bottom is probably steel blades. There's
Yeah, I think
leather,
they're
there's
steel.
laces, but what's the function of it? Well, the function of it is you put it on and you glide on the ice.
Basically, yeah.
So what you just gave me is the definition of the cartilage and tendons. We want to know what their function is, what the function is of them. So it's just another Google search.
Yeah, I
Function
mean,
of cartilage and tendons.
this is the function of both of them are to protect joints and faculties of movement, but I don't think that's
Okay,
it.
so there it is. You just said it at the end there. What was that
Yeah.
last word you said?
Movement.
Movement. Yes. Okay. So uh, you want to say that in a sentence. Cartilage and tendons function, throw that in there, movement. So get a sentence together like that.
Okay. Does this work or should I add more details?
Click here.
I sent it in the chat about the
So
about
the function is to protect the joints, which help for movement. So this is a good start.
okay.
This is fine. Just protect joints for movement. And you could say of the body, maybe, if you want to be more specific. Okay.
Yeah.
So why would you want connectivity tissue to be rigid and have structure?
Why would we want it to have rigid structure?
Yeah, I mean, think about when you move around, when you walk or do anything, like why do you want your body to be rigid and have structure?
What does rigid mean exactly?
Okay, so that's where you've got to say, hey, like you just did there, I don't know what this word means. An example of something that is rigid is like your skate at the bottom. Doesn't bend, it doesn't break, it's solid.
Okay. So we would want it to have we want it to be rigid and structured because I'm just gonna copy and paste and try to write this down as I go.
You don't want your body to flop over.
No,
And
because
that
that's
would be
gonna hurt you really badly, especially if it's on concrete.
right.
We want it to have hold on, just give me like 1 second before I explain. I think the reason we would need to have like rigidity and structure is to make sure that um we have the strength, to keep our body weight. That's one thing.
Okay, that's good.
And I don't know what and to like not flop down to the ground maybe, but that's
Well,
too
that's too more general. But you're basically saying
yeah.
if every time you took a step and the molecules separated, that would be bad. You
Yeah.
couldn't function.
I
You couldn't
could
do anything. Couldn't walk. Couldn't stand up.
yeah, I could say it helps hold our like because our
Yes,
body weight is a lot.
hold the body together. That's good. That's the way to say it.
Right there, I updated it. I will say this, ballerinas are very impressive because they're when they're dancing, they're on their like whole body weight on their toes.
That is true. That is true. So it shows that the connectivity tissue can actually over time can become you can it actually moves. Like you can
Yeah.
strengthen it and it moves. All right. So the next one's here says what would some of the requirements for gasoline for an automobile be? Um, Now maybe you don't know much about gasoline other than where it comes from a gas pump. Um,
And that
have
it
you have
can be really damaging if it gets set on fire.
Right. So it's highly flammable. So that's a good and bad thing. It's good because that's what your engine requires. But you don't want it to be so flammable that it's, it just catches on fire at at any time. Um, it needs to be transportable. Okay. Like you need to be able to put it in your car, so it can't be super heavy.
Yeah.
But um, it is so it has to be somewhat lightweight. It has to um, be flammable, but not super flammable. Um, we have to transport it, not just in cars, but longer distances as well. So the weight matters. It also moves around inside your gas tank. So that's an important characteristic. Like it's not stuck or thick. It can be transported from one medium to another. So why don't you try to put something together? And these are chemical properties, by the way. So you might mention that these are chemical properties. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, they're physical properties. I'm misspeaking. Maybe mention that they're physical properties. The volume, the fact that it's weight, something, put something together like that.
All right. Also, can gasoline, like, this is a question because I'm curious. For like, if you're driving, can your gasoline like explode inside your car? Like, can it
It
happen?
it it could, but that's really, really rare. It's
Yeah,
separated from your engine. A lot of things are put in place to prevent that from happening. I
yeah,
mean,
but there's always a slight possibility.
well, you're more likely to get hit by another car than to have your car blow up from gasoline. Like
That's true.
humans are way worse than gasoline.
Oh, I mean, that is true. Yesterday, my brother and I were on the freeway to get dinner, and if we only got on there maybe 2 minutes earlier, we could have crashed because a car crash
Yep.
happened.
Yeah. And that's reality. Um,
Yeah.
so the requirements of gasoline is that you have to be able to transport it. So it's got to be a volume or a liquid that you can move around. It can't be super heavy. It also, while it's flammable, it can't be like flammable when you just move it around. You need to be able to, um, it's not like flammable to the touch kind of thing.
What does flammable to the touch mean? Like if you touch it, it's
Well,
gonna
like,
immediately
yeah, I
get
mean,
on fire?
yeah, I'm just thinking like it's like if it spills on the ground, it doesn't catch on fire. I mean, you need a source. You need a lighter for it to catch on fire or flame. You need an open flame for it to catch on fire, which is why they say not to smoke at gas stations.
Oh yeah, because gasoline can drip, and if
Yes.
a lot of people put like to extinguish their cigars or cigarettes, they always put them on the floor sometimes.
Right.
At least that's what I know. Is that why gasoline smells so weird?
So that's that's another property is the smell, the odor. Um, it just smells bad because of the compounds that make it up.
I'm curious what is in gasoline. Now I actually want to know. So far I've written that gasoline needs to be flammable, easy to transport. Um, I'm gonna
Yeah, I mean,
just put a
I think you've got enough there. You don't have to.
okay. Oh yeah, no, not to mention planes also use gasoline,
Right.
but a lot of it. I also typed the gasoline thing in the chat, by the way.
Okay. Okay. So I feel like you missed like a lot of what I said here. And this because the way this reads, gasoline would need to be flammable. That sounds really bad. Um, I mentioned the words like volume, transport, which you did include. So let's talk about volume. Okay.
Okay.
Gasoline is a liquid.
Right.
So what does that mean for its transportation? Is that easy or hard to transportation?
It's an easy thing to transport
Why?
because water is light and
Okay, so we did talk about that. So it's not too heavy to transport between vehicles. Okay,
yep.
all right, so that's thing one. Um, because it's a liquid, it 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 its volume changes with the
With
the
whatever it's
enclosure,
like in, yeah, whatever it's
right?
contained in. If it's in a pool,
Uh,
it's gonna be heavy.
So
If
could you try to write a sentence that says that yeah, because it's a liquid, the volume can change easily between whatever it's contained in.
yes. I wrote so what I've written so far is that gasoline is a type of liquid, like kind of like what you did, but I don't know how to say that because it's a liquid, it's easier to transport because it's lighter. Should I just say that?
We're talking about the like think about a bottle of water.
Right.
Bottle of water is enclosed in a bottle, and then if you spill it on the ground, it's still there. It's just not in a defined shape. Um,
Just a
so we're
splat.
talking right. So we're talking about how uh, because gasoline is a liquid, I'm trying to get you to okay. All right. Let's that's okay. Um, we'll just go with this and talk about number four. Okay. The body stores excess energy that is not immediately needed as a reserve for when it is required. Which of the biological molecules has properties that would make it a good choice for this function? So why don't you go out to the internet, search on this, and see if you can tell me the answer here.
Okay, got it. Let me go do that really quickly. It says it's fats. That's what Google says. That's the Google. Google said from this the answer is fats or in parentheses lipids.
So why are fats? So the question you're now answering is why are fats good for storing excess energy?
It's like blubber for whales, or wait, what was the mammal that has blubber? I don't remember. Because they're long term and and
You may want to adjust your search. Like the once you sort of have a guess of what you think it is, you go and maybe do another search to see if that helps you to focus. But that's what we're asking here. Why are fats or lipids good for storing excess energy?
okay. Okay, it says fats are good sources of energy because they provide more energy and take up less space when stored. Each gram of fat ingested can provide the body with 9 calories.
Okay, so one takeaway from that is that they don't take up as much space, so the volume is less.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you're reading or seeing there?
It also says that in comparison, each gram of glucose or protein only provides about 4 calories to the body.
So they're very dense.
Yes.
Okay, so those words need to be included in your answer.
All right. Okay, so I've written something so far. It's not grammatically correct, I think, with the last sentence, but I'm gonna just show you what I have so far. Is that okay?
Yep, yep, do
Okay.
that.
I sent it in the chat.
Okay, so here's what you didn't do. You didn't use the word dense,
Oh, dang it, I forgot.
and that's important.
Yeah. Should I
Uh,
write the density of when eating like dense means hold on, I know the meaning of it, but I need a refresher. What does dense mean again?
Density is uh, how much you get per unit space,
Okay, cool.
meaning
Thank you.
something that's very dense means you get a lot of it in a little bit of space. And that's the whole definition here of the fats or the lipids is that they have a lot of energy in a small amount of space.
Mm-hmm. So I can say when storing excess energy, it's more dense because I could use it there, right?
Yeah, because it's more dense, it has more energy in a small amount of space compared to other molecules in the body.
Okay. Okay, here's the newly written version of it in a way. I put in dense and then just changed some of the words up.
So this is the only part that we're going to keep here.
Okay.
So after the word dense, you have to explain, you have to say what I just said, but not, I mean, you can do it however you want, but you can't say 9 calories instead of 4. That's too specific. That's clearly from the internet. What does it mean for it to be dense? That's what I'm trying to get you to say. So let me type that. What does it mean for something to be dense? Have you ever been cooking and someone says, "Oh, don't add too much of that."
Yes, I think.
Okay. If you have, do you remember what they said? Like what they said, "Oh, don't put too much of that in." What it was?
I was salt.
Okay, so salt can be very dense because it has the ability to really affect everything around it. Um,
Yeah. Salt can be really heavy. Yes. Isn't that what dense means? Doesn't it mean heavy?
we just did a bunch of problems. Density is mass per unit volume. Okay,
Yes.
so something is dense, more dense when it has more of the thing that you have in a smaller space.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's
So
what I'm
it's
trying to get you to put a few words around is what does it mean for fat to be dense? Is what it really.
okay, so that means that fats are good for storing excess energy because it provides the more space while giving the body, well, it's more dense because it's giving the body more calories. It's and the calories are heavier than the ones when you eat instead of food. That doesn't make sense, but that's what I kind of got so far.
So I've said this a few times. The it's dense because there is more energy in a smaller amount of space. That's all I'm looking for. Something like that.
Man, I am not man. I that's so easy. Why do I overcomplicate it? I
I,
don't get
I
it.
don't know. And I mean, but we'll keep going here. Order the following elements from the lowest atomic number to the highest. So what you want to do is get a periodic table up.
I'm using the website that you gave me for.
Good. The atomic number is the number above the letter. So I want you to find
Mm,
carbon and give me the atomic number of carbon.
got it. All right, I'm looking for carbon. Okay, carbon is the atomic number is 6.
Right? To do the same thing for sodium.
All right, that's 11.
Okay. Hydrogen.
That's a 1.
Okay. Potassium.
Potassium is a. How do people not get lost on this? Potassium, potassium, potassium. Sorry I'm taking so long. I'm literally trying to find potassium because I can't I don't see it and I'm blind in a way that I can't see it. Potassium,
Use
potassium.
the search feature for potassium.
There's a search feature.
Yeah, Control F. Well, I guess if you're using an
Okay,
Apple,
found
it's a
it. It's a 19.
okay. And aluminum.
Okay, aluminum is 13.
These aren't too bad to order. All right, there we got it. All right. Question 9. The pure metal aluminum was very rare and extremely expensive until relatively recently. So it used to be that we actually used tin foil instead of aluminum foil in kitchens. Um, so find out how aluminum was prepared and the year it was first isolated. So that's uh that's going to be your search there is that last part. The first part's just sort of a preamble, doesn't really help. You could do a search on that, or it's in the lesson, maybe the video.
I'll check both. I'll first use Google, then I'll no, first I'll use the lesson and then check Google.
Actually, these say they Just at the top here, the firm said use the knowledge you learned. So probably won't help you because I think it's at the end of the lesson.
Okay, so the first person that produced aluminum was in 1825.
Okay, that's fine. But
And
when it says prepared, what it means is like how do they obtain? How do miners obtain aluminum?
okay, and it also mentions here this is I know you're trying to figure out how it was like I know we're trying to figure out how it was like made and stuff or how it was gotten. It just says here he did it by heating aluminum chloride with potassium. Just for that. Okay.
Think that that will not be accepted as the answer here, but you're welcome to
Yeah.
try that. I would
I'm
you've got to be
just
willing
yet.
to go down a little further in those searches. The images are also good. Um,
I think I first searched up how was aluminum prepared and then the year was
you could use the word made. Um,
why does it say why was aluminum first isolated? Like I don't understand that. Like
it could have been written by someone that's just uh, it just who knows whoever made it. It could just be a an odd way of writing it. One of the things I always like is going to the Google Images because they give you a picture. There's a key word you're missing, which is why I would say for sure that that answer would not be accepted.
yeah. So it says here that aluminum was manufactured in two phases. The Bayer process of refining the this is what of the bauxite ore
Yes, that's
to
what I'm looking for.
to
Yes.
obtain aluminum oxide,
Yep.
and then they would smelt it.
Yes. Yes. So I found a picture that I don't know if that actually gets to the picture, but you've got to include the words bauxite mining, alumina production, which is the um, it's like this the middle stage, and then the actual aluminum.
Right.
So we need a few words from you, a sentence or two that says how basically just describing the stages, about the bauxite mining, and then the alumina production, and you can just use those and then the actual aluminum. But you
All
might say it's
right.
prepared in three stages.
Three stages. This one said two phases, but okay, I will
Then
say
then
three.
go with two phases. It doesn't really matter.
So I should mention this Bayer process thing, right?
Bauxite mining is important.
Yeah. Okay, I wrote something down,
Okay,
and I tried to make sure it was in my own words as well.
good.
So here's what I have written down with the two stage. I made sure to include the stage names as well.
Right. And so this looks good. Um, what year was it first isolated?
Okay. And then what year was it first isolated?
I think you said 18 something.
Well, that was when it was discovered. What year was aluminum isolated? I don't know why they would. Yeah, 1825.
Right. Find the most common use of metal copper. All right, so copper is used in wires
Making
throughout,
and the penny.
not anymore, throughout homes.
Dang. I
It's
remember.
really good for conducting electricity. There's probably some copper in it, but they've really refined it differently now. All right.
Oh
So how
yeah,
about
they
gold?
also use copper wood for the Statue of Liberty, but that's too extra.
Yes. So go look. Why don't you look up now a common use of gold?
I think one of the most common uses is jewelry. But I will still search it up just to double check. Yeah, I was right. It's jewelry. Yeah, it says here that jewelry was is the prime use of gold.
Yeah, it's
So for
also used, and silver is more common, but jewelry is a common use of it. And then it's also used in electronics. Um,
really,
yeah.
like
So
gold for the iPhone,
more
or am I
silver
thinking?
than anything, but yeah, it's very trace amounts. They're very small amounts, but they do help. Um,
I never knew that. Wow.
so the why don't you look up the physical properties of gold? See if you can quickly tell me a couple of those.
Gotcha. Oh, conveniently, the first thing that pops up. Okay, gold is one of the then set is metals. Then set. I can't pronounce the word,
Yeah,
but
dense, yeah, soft, malleable, ductile.
yes, soft. Which I knew for a fact that it was that.
Okay. All right, so we got some more questions left, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, if you have time, definitely, these are all like straight from the internet lookups type questions. You don't have to go back into the lesson. Um, but I'll leave it up to you if you want to work on those. But that's going to do it for us for today.